Okay, we are in my garage, so pardon the mess. My garage is a disaster. Here is a, when I bought it 3 or 4 days ago, this was an unfired example of the Benelli M1 Super 90. This is not the H&K version, so it cannot be ghost loaded. So, as you can see, Benelli Corporation, it does not say H&K on it anywhere. So, basically, I searched all over the internet for, I understand that there's a modification that can be done to allow this particular vintage of M1 Super 90 to be ghost loaded. I can't speak to the M2. I've been told it may not be ghost loaded as well, and the modification may be similar, so if this helps the M2 owners out there, that's wonderful. But as I understand it, this will work for the M1, and I'm about to try it and find out, so I will let you know how this goes, and I will film along the way. Okay, so here we are. The bolt has been removed, and the difference between the original H&K Benelli M1 bolt and the I guess the later manufacturer M1 Super 90 bolts that you will see is this area right here on the original. Whoops, there we go. On the early model M1s, this little groove that you see here, I guess I'm going to have to hold this, and then there goes my light. Well, we'll do our best here. This little groove that you see in the back does not exist in the original M1 Super 90. So that little groove is what engages the shell lifter, or whatever you want to call it. And as I understand it, if I could get this thing to sit still, I'll try this. This thing's just not going to cooperate. Okay, let's do that. As I understand it, the modification entails taking this piece right here and grinding this edge to a 45-degree bevel, or thereabouts. I don't know how critical that angle measurement is going to be, but I am going to take my Dremel tool and I'm going to grind a bit of that down, and then I'll check to see if it makes a difference, if it allows me to ghost load my Benelli M1. Okay, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to hold this camera and do the grinding while you watch, but I'll grind it down. I'll show you the after effect of the work that I've done, and just to kind of show you, there's the tool that I'm using. The Dremel tool bit that I'm using is a small grinder head. So basically, this will just be used right in this area to grind that to a 45-degree angle there. And then once that 45 is in there, it should ghost load. We'll try it, and then if it works, then I'll just take one of the felt polishing bits and some flits, and I'll polish it up so it's nice and smooth. Okay, we are back, and gosh, let me see. I don't suppose I can zoom. Oh yeah, I can zoom that in. Okay, and you can see I've removed a bit of the material there. I did polish it up quite a bit with flits, but I used a fairly, I don't know if you'd call it an aggressive stone on that, but that's it's very smooth and extremely shiny when you look at it in person. I can see now that I'm zooming in here that I was not quite able to get, let me see if I can get my little knife blade pointer in here. I was not quite able to get the perfectly flat bevel right there. There's a bit of a hump in it, as you can see, but I did test fit it into the gun, and I did make the effort to ghost load it, and it did work. So this Benelli bolt, with literally, it took maybe about 5 or 6 minutes, just because I was trying not to go too crazy and you know, doing it by hand. I imagine if you had some type of a jig or something that you could use on that, you could do a bit of a prettier job than I did. But like I said, it works, and there's no issues with it. Of course, I'll have to take it out and fire it to confirm that I didn't destroy a $200 part in my Benelli. But we'll find that out at a later date. Let me see if I can get some better picture imagery on this side. So that's what it looks like. Yeah, right there. Not a terrible thing to be able to load an additional round. So now with the 7+1 tube, it'll give me 7+1+1, so I'll have 9 rounds in the M1 Super 90 Tactical. And here it is, ghost loaded. As you can see, there's one underneath the carrier. I got one up in the magazine. Can't really see it there, but that's a shell base. And then one in the chamber. So, Benelli M1 Super 90 modification, ghost loading. Hope you all learned something and maybe found it useful.